Welcome back to the Wicky Wacky Radio Show. I'm Reid.
And I'm Frank.
Today we have an interesting topic that we're going to discuss, and it came from our other show, Conservative Conversations, which some of you may know about. And speaking of that show, we're eventually going to merge this channel, the Wicky Wacky Radio Show, with the other channel and rename the Conservative Conversations channel to the Contemporary Conservative channel to help streamline things, since that is our branding in most other places. Like our social media, it's at contempconserv, our website, contemporaryconservative.net, and you'll be seeing those changes going on over the next couple months, and eventually the show will not be uploaded to where you're subscribed to now. You can go to at Conservative Conversations to subscribe, and we are currently uploading this show to that channel, so you can go ahead and make the switch over if you want, and eventually we'll let you know when the last episode is going to be uploaded here, and you'll have to go subscribe to the other channel. So we just wanted to let you all know for now, and we'll be sure to mention it going on at some point in the future.
That's right, and we actually intend that this will make it less confusing. So we hope it's not confusing, and in time, it should be easier to obtain all of our material from one place. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, exactly. Because right now, if you want to subscribe to both channels for the exclusive content, you have to have 2 subscriptions. And putting both shows under one channel will let people pay for 1 subscription, which is currently $1 a month on each show,
or $10 a year.
That's right. So hopefully it'll be easier for people going on in the future. And with that, the funny topic that we mentioned in the other show had to do with the guardian angels, sort of. But Frank here kind of got them mixed up.
I sure did.
He thought I was talking about the Hell's Angels, which...
Well, that just popped out of my mouth first. I was trying to recall the guardian angels. Right. I knew who I was talking about.
Right. Yeah,
but I goofed it.
Right.
And said the Hell's Angels.
They're completely different people. One's out there doing good, keeping the streets safe, like right now in New York. They're keeping the subway safe. The Hell's Angels are probably making them not safe.
Well, the Hell's Angels have tried to do good.
Yeah.
That's why, I think there's a part where the line gets blurred a little bit because, at least in my mind, because they were supposed to be crowd control for that concert. Remember that famous concert where a couple of people died?
Oh, the fire concert
The one
thing?
in California?
Oh, I don't know then. I'm not sure.
I think I don't know what happened, but, well, I do know what happened. Some people got hurt. Oh. I don't know that anybody died, but there was this... I could Google it real fast, but there was this concert in California where the Hells Angels were brought on to be crowd control.
Huh. I did not hear about that. That's funny.
It's a disaster. It's... Hang on.
Oh.
Google incoming.
I mean, having the Hells Angels as your crowd control, what do you expect?
Crowd control.
I guess not. I don't know. But we're going to find out.
It's called the Altamont Free Concert.
Oh, no, I hadn't heard about that.
It happened at the Altamont Speedway, December 6th, 1969.
Oh, okay.
They called it Woodstock West. Lots of people were supposed to be there, even the Grateful Dead. Mm-hmm. But when he ended up hearing how bad the situation was, he turned around and left. He never showed up. He never went out there. because it turned into a debacle, bro.
Wow.
It was
I've not
bad.
heard about this. This is crazy.
I'll send you a link to it. There's this guy on YouTube who does these, what does he call them? They're called like something disaster videos. Modern disaster. I can't think of it.
I don't know, is it a British guy?
He might be. Yeah.
Potentially Australian?
I don't know.
Well, there's a guy on YouTube I sometimes watch that does stuff like that.
It's something disaster. Can you think of what the channel's called?
No.
Modern disaster? I don't think that's right. I don't know. But he does a great, fascinating horror. No, that's a different
another
channel.
channel. Yeah, I've seen that
I
one.
don't know. Maybe that is it.
Yeah. That sounds right. I've definitely seen that
But he
channel.
does one on that, maybe. Whoever I'm thinking of. Let me, I
Sure.
don't want to say it's that person because I'm not positive
Right.
at the moment. But whoever I watch, Fascinating Horror or whatever it is, does one on that California thing where the Hells Angels were brought on to be crowd control for the event. Can you believe that?
No. But can you imagine, like, somebody who wanted to sign up to be a guardian angel ends up at, like, a biker bar?
Like, oh, yeah.
I'm here to be a guardian angel.
Some little, like, nerdy dude who, like, just wants to be on a neighborhood watch.
Right.
Ends up in a biker gang. They're, like, pummeling some dude, and he's like... What would he say? They're like beating him up.
Well, I thought we were non-violent, guys. What's happening here? This is the Guardian Angels. We're the Hell's Angels, boy. Where do you think you are?
We sell drugs and...
didn't you see our motorcycles?
And we implement street justice.
Street justice? No, that's for the cops. That's for the cops. What a mix-up.
Well, yeah, and imagine, like, okay, let's say you had some little, like, small problem going on.
Yeah, cat
domestic violence or a cat in a tree.
Yeah, oh, that's
and
classic.
you had the friggin' Hell's Angels show up to help instead of the Guardian Angels.
He'd probably start, like, shooting at the tree to scare the cat down or something.
Yeah, but imagine it's a domestic violence situation.
That'd be interesting.
You got, like, a wife saying that her man hit her.
Uh-huh.
And, like, instead of calling up, like, the cops haul him away for a night or whatever, the friggin' Hell's Angels show up and, like, put the guy underground.
Oh, man. Well,
that'd be pretty hairy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Goodness.
You got to be careful what you ask for,
right?
Sometimes.
Yeah. That's what you call good old fashion street justice.
Street justice.
Yeah. Hell's Angel style.
Street house.
Street house. What kind of mashup name could you give them? You can't just call them the Hell's Guardian Angels. That's too easy.
That's what AI gave them.
Oh, that's too easy.
I think you'd call them the Guardian Devils.
The
Demon Guard.
Let's see. How about?
How about
Gardhellians?
Volunteer demons.
Volunteer.
That sounds horrible.
Hellions. Angels.
The new Hellions.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
The new. That's
got
like a
a ring
band
to it.
too.
The new Hellions.
Yeah.
They're like
That's
bikers.
Ours. Trademark.
Bikers who do good.
Yeah. They go around supporting all the little the kiddos with their lemonade stands.
Yeah.
And what else do they do?
They shovel walks for old people on snowy days.
Yep. And they pick up trash
Yeah.
at the park.
And they cut grass at abandoned properties.
Yeah.
Just so the neighborhood looks better.
Yeah, and they mow the baseball field for the Little League.
Yeah. Or they sponsor the Little League.
Yeah, they're the Little New Hellions. Is that's probably not appropriate.
You wouldn't want to put that on the kids' backs. You don't want to see Little Hellions on a kid's back.
I suppose not.
See, the whole image is wrong. Bikers doing good. It's not good to see bikers doing good.
Oh.
Is it good to see bikers doing good? Would you want Little Hellions on little kids' backs? It's like from that TV. It's from that movie where they get is it like bench warmers or what is it with Billy Bob Thornton where they play for baseball? I don't think it's bench
Bad
warmers.
News Bears.
Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
Where they get that titty bar to sponsor the kids' baseball team. And I didn't write that one. That's already been written.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how are you gonna? I guess you don't need to know it's the New Hellion sponsor.
You wouldn't want that on a kid's back, just like
Right.
you wouldn't want a fake set of jugs as like a logo for a titty bar on a kid's back.
But okay, well, what do you do? The New Hellions are definitely gonna want people to know that they're sponsoring the Little League team. How do they do it?
Couldn't they be like, we got to get a better name?
Oh,
They got to have a better name.
better than New Hellions.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's how
pretty
you
good,
got to take
though.
the hell out of Hellions.
Oh,
How do
yeah.
you take the hell out of Hellions?
The new Guardians.
I don't like that.
Mm.
Call them the new.
New
I don't know. Maybe I got to
Volunteers.
think outside the box. What did I just say? You got to take the hell. You got to
Yeah.
take the hell
The
out
new
of
the
Hellions.
new Ians.
Hang on. How do you take hell out of Hellions? What else do you have? The modern rebels.
Mm,
How about that? That's not so bad.
okay.
And they do good.
Yeah.
They call themselves rebels because that's right, because the culture's so bad
Right.
that they're rebelling against the bad culture.
Right.
See? Now we're on to
Ooh.
something. So they're rebels against a bad culture.
Rebels with a cause.
Yes!
Yes. I like it.
The new rebels.
The new rebels.
There we go. Did we say that? New rebels.
That's ours. That's the little
I like
kids.
that. Doesn't
They're
and that
playing
you can put on
T-ball.
a kid's back.
Yeah.
The new rebels. What's
Yeah.
wrong with that?
Nothing.
That's right.
Yeah.
New rebels do good, and then you could still have a motorcycle pack
Yeah.
that goes around and does good stuff, cleans
Right.
up neighborhoods, picks
Yeah.
up trash, and
Yeah. They're gonna send these kids to the Little League World Series.
sponsors the kids. That's
Yeah.
right. They sponsor
Exactly.
the games.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah. God.
What if they did? They could have like a biker bake sale
a biker bake sale?
for the kids. You know,
Right.
for get them to the championship game or whatever.
Right.
Get them new jerseys.
Or a spaghetti dinner. Everybody loves a good spot, eh?
What are you saying? They're Italians? Not all Italians are bikers, bro.
What? No, I'm just saying it's a good fundraising thing. We did them in school.
I've
Ever
been
heard-
to many a spaghetti dinner.
You never heard of such a
I've
fundraising?
been to many
Oh,
a
you've been to
spaghetti
many
dinner.
spaghetti. Okay.
I've had to perform at some of them.
Yeah.
No lie.
Yeah. I believe you.
Well, it's not.
No
well,
cap.
I hope so.
Isn't that what the kids say now?
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't
I had
understand
to ask
it.
one time. I'm like, which one's which? Cap or fact? They say cap or fact. I guess that gives it away because the other one's a fact. So I guess cap is a lie.
Oh.
Is a bad, not good.
Oh.
Cap is bad.
I guess. I don't know. I don't understand what lingo
I don't know
these
either.
kids
I don't know.
talking these days.
I don't know either. You're asking the wrong person.
I'll have to call my nephew.
That was one of the. Remember, that's a segment we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have Darian on,
Yeah.
and she's supposed to teach us some of the new lingo.
Right? Well, she's going to be too old for it at some point. We'll have to get younger.
I don't think so. She's got the.
She's always up with it.
Yeah,
Is that what they
hip.
say? Yeah, that's totally back in fashion.
Is it?
Hip? Yep, I've heard it.
Well, she's hip with the lingo.
Right. So are the new rebels.
Yeah.
They know all
Well, if you're gonna be a rebel,
Yeah, I mean,
be a new
they make
rebel.
their own lingo.
I don't think that's good. No, they should harken back. It's part of what they're conservatives. They should use some of the old lingo.
Oh, that makes
sense. The old
sense.
jive.
Yeah. New rebels, old talk, old lingo.
Yeah, because they're basically compensating for that the 80s group that came through and just wrecked everything for everybody because they were such a bad generation.
Yeah,
those 70s, 80s kids were the worst.
Yeah.
Unless they're in our audience, then thank you for listening. We love you.
You're the best.
You're the best 70s and 80s kids ever.
You're the best generation to be given a letter.
No, you're not the best generation. You're just the best from that horrible generation.
Oh,
I still don't like your generation.
I see what you're saying. Yes, okay. Yeah, the 80s are weird.
70s and 80s suck, bruh.
Yeah.
As generationally, I'm not saying what happened and whatever. I'm talking about those kids because they were brought up in such an affluent time. And it was such a blessing. They were so blessed. And it's something only history can show.
Yeah.
And I think they squandered it. They liked their Sony and their Sega and their Star Wars.
Nintendos.
And they played all those games and they never got us any closer
and their
to
big hair
to
bands.
such a future.
And that girly rock star.
What's his name? The fish. What's that little fish they put on pizzas? Anchovy. Anchovy.
Yeah. Bovine Joni.
No, what? His name is Canna Anchovy. You can't say his name.
Man. Do you think Canna Anchovy is he's the new rebel?
No.
Too
Do you think
old.
that was a pretty good little for me to think up on the spot thing of making fun of Bon Jovi?
You said his name. Now they're gonna sue us.
Anchovy, Bon Jovi. That's pretty good, I think.
Yep, definitely is. I thought it was pretty clever for on the spot.
Takes me back to a former time when I was a younger person.
Oh goodness! You know, one of the things that new rebels got to do to get into the club, right?
To get part of their initiation, what?
Well, it's a whole day of volunteer stuff. And we've already mentioned a couple of them. They do the cookie things. They shovel the snow if appropriate. I mean, you might live somewhere there's no snow.
They got to pick up all the needles on the streets of San Fran.
They got one of the requirements. They got to walk an old lady across the street.
'Cause she's somebody's mother.
Yup, exactly.
That's an old poem. Somebody's mother. Such a good one. Everybody should look it up. But, yup, it's like badges. So now you're blending it with the Boy Scouts. They got to get their badges.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's...
Wait, I don't need no stinking badge. I'm a rebel.
You gotta earn your patch. Gotta earn your patch.
The only patch I need is over my eye. 'Cause I gave it to a guy.
You
needed it.
A guy your eye.
I gave a guy my eye.
You gave a guy your eye.
Down in San Juan.
And,
that really happened to me.
yeah.
It really did.
San Juan. Which one? Puerto
Mexico.
Rico?
I've never been to Puerto Rico.
Neither have I. That's probably where I would go before I'd go to Mexico.
I've never been to Mexico except in this hypothetical where I gave this guy my eye, supposedly.
Right? I mean, why would you need to go through the whole hassle of getting a passport and stuff to go to Mexico, we can go to Puerto Rico. I mean, I'm not saying Puerto Ricans are Mexicans or anything, but it's adjacent culture.
Bro, you want to talk about adjacent culture? I heard Puerto Rico was a shithole.
No way.
Yeah.
Just a hole full of shit?
An island full of trash.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. A floating island.
And I don't mean the people.
No, of course not. The island.
I mean, they have a trash problem. We've covered it on the channel before. They have a
other
trash
show.
problem. Look it up.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, the same with, like, if you want to go to Asia, you can go to Guam. It's close enough.
But can you? I think you still need a passport to travel like that. Because if your plane went down...
No, I don't think you need a passport to go to Guam.
But you would... I mean, theoretically, doesn't it make sense? What if something happened? You had to refuel. You had to stop somewhere. Something happened. You were in a foreign country. You would want a passport.
I suppose you would want one.
Well, yeah, you would want one. I dare say you would need one. How could that not go into the calculus?
I don't know. For probably the same reason it wouldn't go into, I don't know, if you're flying from Hawaii to Alaska.
Is that true? I'm going to look it up real fast.
Or, I don't know, any other kind of similar scenario. Because in order to go to Guam from the United States, you have to go to Hawaii. All flights from Guam take you to Hawaii. And you fly from Hawaii straight to Guam.
Wow. Nope. According to Google, just the quick answer Google gives me, I have no source other than Google. Unless it cites one. Let me look. This is AI's overview. It cites several things. The first one being USA.gov. It says that U.S. citizens do not need a passport to go to Guam.
Yeah.
So I didn't really doubt you. I just figured it's one of those things that it seems kind of crazy to me, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I get, like, at one point in time,
Right.
that would just be sensical. Like, you used to not even need a passport to go to Canada or Mexico.
Right.
So I get that. I mean, I'm not saying, anything. It just,
Right.
I just think that maybe that's something that should be looked at then, because, I mean, I get it theoretically, but when you're dealing with distances like that, like you just talked about, Alaska to Hawaii, imagine you had to land somewhere. You wouldn't want to be able to be accountable, and I mean, in certain ways you are.
Mm.
There's ship manifolds and whatever, plane, lists of occupancy and whatever. There's still records and stuff. There's ways that you can work around stuff in certain situations. Diplomats, we have diplomatic ties with most nations, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But it just seems sensical that you might want to have some friggin' right there on demand travel documents as well, since you're traveling.
Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying. For sure.
I mean, because you always see these. It's all fair and game. It's like they say, it's all fun and games until you're in a hairy situation. So
yeah. Right. I don't know. I guess my thought would be.
You know what I would do?
What would you do? Go for it.
I'd call one of the Hell's Angels.
One of the Hell's Angels or
one of the new devils. The new rebels. That's it. The new rebels.
Yeah, they're so new you can't remember their names.
That's right. I bet they'd come to my rescue real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Toot
that's their
sweet,
job.
as the French say.
They just parachute right out of the sky.
The paratroopers.
Yeah. They do it all.
They got satellites. They got people in the sky. They got people in orbit.
They got people underground and people underwater.
Imagine they could just eject from space and just fly right down. That's a real modern Superman right there.
Who's to say they can't?
Who's to say they aren't doing it already? They're doing it for the super wealthy.
Yeah.
And we got to tax. We got to eat the rich, bruh.
Eat them.
eat their money.
Eat their money.
Well, eat them. I don't care if they're in the way.
I don't want to.
We got to get their money. We got to. Well, that's what it is. That's why I like that they embrace. Some of them embrace that phrase, "eat the rich," because it's cannibalistic.
Right.
If you think about it, it's so on the nose. Like, yes, let's just eat the rich guy. Ugh, it's retarded.
The new rebels would never do such a thing.
No, they're not socialists.
No.
They're happy capitalists.
Yeah. Charitable.
Just like Reid and I.
Yeah.
And I'm Frank.
He's Frank.
Because sometimes I forget who I am. I have to remind myself sometimes. Sometimes I get yelled at in the middle of recording because I forget who I am. Or not yelled at, but maybe just rude gestures or something.
Right.
You flipped me off, man. I saw it.
Rude gestures.
Well,
obscene.
Unfriendly.
They were obscene gestures.
They were poignant.
Poignant. Yes.
Poignant gestures.
Yeah.
That felt
they were poignant, but weren't pointed.
Pointed? No, they weren't pointed.
No.
Pointed is like a spear.
Right. But they're poignant. But not pointy.
Poignant.
That's
Poignant.
what
It's
I'm
got a
saying.
G. There's a G in there.
Yeah, poignant. Yeah.
You said pointed.
I afterwards, the record will show. The record will show.
Strike that. I moved to strike the last word. This was supposed to be a podcast segment about the Hells Angels and how they should be reinstated as a non-violent organization. They should be taken off the terrorist watch list.
Yes, Frank is starting a new petition.
No, I'm not. Who's Frank?
I guess. See, folks, he's already done forgot.
Frank who?
Frank.
I'm only Frank when I drink.
This is I can name a couple Franks.
I don't mean to be Frank.
There's Frank Sinatra.
Frank Tipton.
Frank Caliendo.
That's one of my other personalities. Frank
There-
Caliendo. That takes me back. He's an actor, right?
A comedian.
He does sketch comedy and stuff.
He
was on Mad TV for a long time.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm crazy.
What, does Franklin count? Because there's, of course, the president, Franklin Roosevelt.
There's Benjamin Franklin.
Well, that's his
Is
last
that a Frank?
name. I don't think
He could be Frank. He could cut it, Frank.
I
He's
don't
Ben
know.
Frank. He's
Well-
Ben Frank before. Trust me. I've read some of his stuff. He's Ben Frank.
I don't know that many other Franks. I think I've named all the famous Franks I can name.
Well, then you have to think outside of the box. What about in French? They have the Frank, the Frank, the Bill, the Frank. They've got the
yeah.
Frank. Then there's
Francisco Del
de
Torre.
Champagne. No, who's the one who did the lakes?
The lakes. I don't know.
He went up to North Canada. He went up north to Canada and all that, and he did all the. He surveyed and did all the mapping.
Not
De
sure.
De Champlain.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
Is that something?
That's a place.
Well, it's along the lines of what I'm trying to come up with.
Yeah. So I imagine that'd be his name because they'd probably name a place after him. Yeah.
Whatever. I'm over trying to help you out with your Frank conundrum.
Yeah. I can't think of any more, so I guess that's it.
I
All the
wonder
Franks.
if there's anybody you could call.
Ghostbusters.
No,
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Yeah, they're definitely not a sponsor. Plus, that's probably copyrighted.
Oh, the New Rebels.
I haven't sang the jingle. New Rebels.
Yeah. I'll call them, and
They'll help.
they'll name some Franks for me. What What's their number?
877 cash now. Because
Uh,
they're your helpers.
404-519-5.
No, you gotta do. What do they always do? They do 800-555.
Yeah,
you gotta do the
555.
555.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily I left off 3 whole numbers at the end.
So let's do 800
Yeah,
555. And then what's a 4-letter word?
Whatever is.
What's fuck?
No. You want how about whatever numbers make up NERE?
How about HELL?
Oh, it's like a secret.
Yeah, it's like a.
But we don't ever say what it spells. So it'd be 4355.
No, don't say what it is. That shouldn't be it.
Oh.
But something like that, though. What it should be like a little nod to the old organization.
Oh.
Like.
Well, I don't know how.
What if it's drug? DRUG.
I mean, that's. No.
What if it's.
I think NERE for like the first 2 letters of New Rebel.
No.
Neri.
Neri? No. That sounds racist. I don't like it.
What?
Neri? It sounds like you're making fun of like a handicapped person, like a new, a new.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Neri.
Who?
A Neri? Somebody. You give the internet 5 minutes, somebody else will think of it.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. And somebody else. If I hadn't said it, you give the internet 5 minutes, somebody would have said it.
Well, that's their.
You Neri.
Yeah, I am.
Neri.
Yep.
I like it. We're coming up with code words here. Neri. I
See,
like that.
now you like it.
I do like it.
He likes it now, folks.
But I don't think that should be the number.
The phone number? Oh. Well, I mean, we gotta come up with one. How we gonna call him?
Well, it sounds like we need to figure that out on the back end. 'Cause how are we supposed to tell them and then create it? What if it's already taken? We tell them to call a number and then we can't even get the number. Maybe they should write their Congress people.
Yes. Right. Okay.
That's always the thing you should do.
Right?
Write your representative.
Yep. And don't feel bad if they write you back and say, I'd like to help you, son, but you're too young to vote.
No, usually they say something like, we're dealing with a lot of tasks at this time, and we appreciate, it's always a lot of fluff. We appreciate your inquiry, and we appreciate your blah, 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 blah. And here, we'll send you the newsletter, because I've done this before. You'll now start receiving the newsletter from your senator, so you can see what action we're taking in regards to actions that concern you. And blah, blah,
Right, yeah.
blah.
Well, I like making a reference to a song.
They just do it all. It's all boilerplate.
Yeah, of course. It's government for ya.
Yeah, even by email. It's boilerplate by email.
Yeah. Would it be boilerplate even if they put it on a boiler?
It's not boilerplate because it's not legal, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just like they stamp it out. It's just pre-made contracts, pre-made text, pre-made.
Yeah.
It's just a pre-made template.
Yeah. Boilerplate.
Boilerplate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd all like to get home to our hot plates. I get it. I get the whole thing, but
Do you think the new rebels have an open hideout or a secret hideout? Or I suppose both.
it's obviously secret.
Oh. Sounds
It
shady.
might be in plain sight, but there's layers to it.
Oh.
And you gotta know.
So it's
how to get
basically
in.
both.
It's like
in a way.
It's like a factory
Uh-huh.
that like has a secret disco lounge in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like on the outsides, it just looks like a factory, and there's lots of comings and goings and
Right.
people and cars. But on the inside, it's actually like Club 54.
Right. Or like it's the downtown office building, but in the basement, it's where they get together It's
Well, right, and I'm just saying there's like levels to it. Like maybe you can get in and maybe you can see, oh, I'll give you here's a good analogy. It's like in that show that everybody loves so much, but where they make meth. What's that show where the
Breaking Bad?
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
I've never seen it.
What they do is they end up producing meth on such a large scale,
right,
that they have like an industrial laundromat.
Oh yeah.
And the laundromat is what's on the surface. That's what you see.
Uh-huh.
And it's a real operating laundromat.
Yeah.
Right? With stuff coming and going and chemicals really being bought and really being used and really cycling through the system, you might say. But then there's an underbelly, an under level where they make the meth, and it vents through the same chimneys and the same channels, the bad stuff, as the bad stuff from the good company, good business, right? You see what I'm saying? There's like a blending of the two. But what I'm getting to is like on our level, see, because it's all like there's levels to everything, and like if you wouldn't think about crime and all that, you have to piggyback off of something that's legit. So like, let's say you have a real car wash.
Yeah.
You have stuff coming through all the time. People always washing their cars, and that's legit. You just pay people peanuts up on the surface level to wash cars. But actually what's going on down one level beneath the business, if you know the passcode to get in, the secret elevator, you got the secret key, the secret stairwell. There's this whole other world.
Right.
That's what you call clandestine.
I didn't get to say it a moment ago, but talk about laundering.
Yeah, that's where the whole phrase comes from, actually.
Yeah, I know.
The original money launderers bought a string of car washes. No. Car washes why would you call it laundering?
I said I didn't get to say it a moment ago when you were talking. I guess I didn't elaborate more, but when you were talking about
Breaking Bad,
yeah, and the laundromat.
No, I know. I was trying to make a joke on top of a joke. I was trying to be meta and act like I was confused about a car wash. But that's not laundry.
No,
that was supposed to be a joke stacked on top of a joke. I was trying to be the fool.
I thought it was one of those cases where I was getting confused.
No, I'm just stacking stuff like dominoes or like playing cards. And it all just came crashing down.
Yeah.
You didn't see all the layers to it, brah.
Yeah.
There's layers.
Right? Like the layers in the laundromat. And the layers in the New Rebels hideout.
And sometimes I act foolish about stuff I just said 3 minutes ago because it's all a bit, and I'm trying to play up to where I can realize that, it all tracks, doesn't it? And I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Well, goodness.
I forgot what we were supposed to tell people that we're merging with Verizon Wireless, not a sponsor. And you can now find us on every iPhone everywhere in America.
Yeah, we're like the YouTube album. We're just going to show
We're
up.
like CNN. We're going to be playing in every airport across America.
Yeah.
And American Airlines is not a sponsor.
No, nobody's a sponsor.
Nobody's a sponsor, but...
Or you, listeners, you can be sponsors.
If you're travel bound, you might consider American Airlines.
Okay.
How about that as a joke? To go for a straight bit.
Oh, gosh.
All right. We're just spitballing here now.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when the Hell's Angels and the Guardian's Angels merged together.
What if there was a thing where they called it like... Oh, what if we harken back to another thing we said on our previous segment on conservative conversations?
Yeah.
Where what if they took the SNAP benefit dollars...
Oh, okay.
And they gave it to the Hell's Angels.
The Hell's Angels?
Yeah.
Okay.
To feed the people... And they called it Hell's Kitchen. And they just had... Not a sponsor. And they just had these like cafeterias on every corner that like people could just go get fed. No questions asked. Just get a meal. Maybe we could friggin' get rid of groceries. Who needs groceries? Just go and get a meal.
From the Hell's Angels at the Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen on every street corner near you. Coming to a street corner near you. But you imagine that. Now, let's take some of the BS out of it.
Okay.
But imagine it as a concept. What if they took the SNAP dollars and they really did just run kitchens where people got paid to make food? People could be trained in culinary. You can employ culinary. They can almost be educational in nature.
That's an interesting idea.
And you could just put up meals for whoever needs them. No questions asked.
Kind of like the 21st century soup kitchen.
Yeah, like a 21st century soup kitchen, except it's stealing some of the funds away from SNAP.
Yeah.
It provides another
food source
into the market. Where, okay, people can't take it home and feed their families, but they could bring their families there and get a hot meal any time.
Well, that's an idea.
I thought of it in the prior segment.
Well, there you go, folks.
Imagine, how about this, as far as blending ideas?
Yeah.
What if you're stealing, yes, as some people might put it, from the SNAP benefit program, but you add this other option where, let's say you make SNAP more like WIC, where they can only buy, let's say, I'll just be very restrictive just for the sake of argument, okay? Like 10 items. You can buy like flour, bread, milk, whatever. And maybe some of them are interchangeable. But essentially you can buy like 10 staple food items that will get you through a month.
Right.
Okay? Right? You put everybody on that budget where they all get their salt, grain, the old food pyramid, whatever you need, protein, whatever. But then let's say the rest of the money from this old outdated program that doesn't seem to work that well, and that's why they're calling for reforms, you put forward to these things, and you sort of blend education where they're trying to slim down education. Do you see? Well, why couldn't you put part of the education with part of the SNAP? And make your culinary education part of feeding needy folks. F and F. F and F, people. We need to be feeding needy folks.
So get out there and F.
I'm telling you what, I bet if we could just sit here and record long enough, we could think up all the solutions for all the world.
Right? Oh, man.
Who needs the Hell's Angels or the Guardian Angels?
Yeah,
you just
got
need
the
us.
New Rebels and F and the Wicky Wacky Radio Show.
And conservative conversations and contemporary conservative, because that's who we are.
Right.
We are contemporary conservatives, and all of this is brought to you from a conservative point of view.
Right. Exactly.
It's supposed to be conservative media for a modern conservative.
That's right. So, folks, if you want to hear more, go follow us on your favorite podcast platform. You can find us on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, and many other popular listening apps. And you can go subscribe while you still can to our Wicky Wacky Radio Show. But we encourage you to start subscribing to the Conservative Conversations channel, which will soon be renamed to Contemporary Conservative. And you'll still hear this same great show and you won't be missing a thing.
That's right. And we really wish that you would stop telling your friends and relatives about how great we are, because there's just been such an influx and an outpouring of donations and subscriptions and paid subscriptions that we can hardly keep up with it. I mean, the emails, my inbox, my outbox cannot keep up with my inbox. That's what I'm telling you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So please stop telling everybody you love about how great we are. Don't do it anymore. And as always, we thank you for listening.